Mario Galaxy movie, my first live stream in forever, and Nintendo apparently lying to its fans, but actually they didn't. This sounds like stuff we need to talk about and discuss. We will. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos. My first live stream in forever is going to be later today at noon Pacific. That is 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be checking out Animal Crossing New Horizons for the first time in forever. Come back for the jam because it has been a long time and we got to get things prepped and ready for that new 3.0 update. And I just want to say hi to all the familiar faces that have been gone probably for years because we have not played Animal Crossing in so dang long. Click the link in the description down below if you want to be ready for that and check that out. Should be fun. That is Thursday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Anyhow, let's also talk about a new game coming to Switch 2. Ubisoft and Nintendo are working to bring Rogue Prince of Persia to the Switch and Switch 2 next month, December 16th, which is pretty darn fun. This is a gorgeous looking game, and after the phenomenal Prince of Persia game that came out, I believe the beginning of last year on Switch, the amazing Metroidvania, I'm really excited to check out this roguelike. I have not had a chance to play this one yet. I have it downloaded on my PC and I've just never gotten to it. So I'm excited to be able to give it a chance on the Switch 2. Also, let's just take a moment to regale in the glory of the Mario Galaxy movie. I thought that trailer was sick. I thought that trailer and the casting choices and the announcements were awesome. Yes, the direct didn't have any games. Of course it didn't have any games, so it was boring, right? But the movie looks amazing, and I think Nintendo has just tapped into this magic nature of film. I think their characters just really exude personality, charm, humor, all the above. They check the boxes when they get in that movie room. And it makes you wonder, why doesn't Nintendo capitalize on this and never utilize voice acting or a deeper storyline in their games? I think if the Mario Galaxy movie is successful, which it will be, bring this type of stuff. Doesn't have to be Chris Pratt. Bring this type of stuff. Doesn't have to be Anya Taylor-Joy. Bring this type of stuff to the games. I want to hear Bowser talk. I want to hear Link talk. I want to hear the Pokemon trainers talk. We're there. We've made it to that era. It has been, 45 years of Novio in Nintendo games? 35 years, whatever it's been, 35, 40 years of Mario? Forever. It's fine. We can have them speak, because when they speak, it's pretty darn hilarious. I thought baby, mini, tiny Bowser in the castle doing his artwork is a great bit. I think Bowser Jr. looks menacing, voiced by Benny Safdie, and then Brie Larson doing Rosalina, giving her not only a centering role, but also incredible power, as we see, and having all of these references to Mario Galaxy after they just dropped Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch and Switch 2 is perfect. It's beautiful. This movie is out in April, and I'm very excited for it. I do think that Miyamoto and Nintendo have worked so well with Illumination to make this feel genuinely Mario and to really bring the joy of Mario and Nintendo that many of us cherish, that many of us were drawn to when we first became Nintendo fans at a young age. That is conveyed and it carries over to the movies, to the big screen. I think that's brilliant. I'm gonna go see it day 1 or day 0 or day -1 if I'm able to see it early. That will be super fun. At this point, it's only 4 months away, and I'm eager to see what other Mario stuff they have cooking for the anniversary, because it should culminate in a huge game, which is definitely not Mario Tennis Fever, even though that does look fun. That's definitely not the big Mario game that we've been waiting for on Switch 2, so hopefully we get that. Let me know your take on the Mario Galaxy movie in the comments down below. It screams Galaxy, it screams Rosalina, it screams Bowser Jr., and Bowser himself was screaming, so I'm all about it. What I'm not all about, though, is Nintendo or really anything being made to look like a lie when it's not a lie, or vice versa. This happens all the time in this here country. We have so many things that it's very hard to know what's actually going on and what's actually the truth. So when I saw people talking about Nintendo lied, look, I saw this in a lot of places. I saw this on IGN, I saw this on RGT85's channel. A lot of people talking about Nintendo lied about game key cards. They said they would never have a Nintendo game be on a game key card. And then yesterday, we had the whole debacle, the discussion about Pokemon Pokopia and how that's on a game key card. And we talked about it. We tried to dissect it. I gave you my theory on that the Pokemon company just don't care and they want money. But Nintendo being a liar, that really got my spidey senses tingling. I was like, okay, that's even worse. That is darn awful. You can't have a company lying and creating this pattern where they say something publicly and then they come straight back and do the opposite. And then I looked at the statement and I realized that people are insane. Nintendo did not lie, okay? So the claim that's being brought forth here is that Nintendo said that they had no plans, and this is a quote, no plans to use game keycards for Nintendo developed titles. And then people say, "Blah, Pokemon Pokapia, you lied." Except they didn't. Guys, I don't know why this is so difficult. I feel like throughout my years here on SwitchForce, I've had to do things like this too many times where it's like nobody gets it and people can't just correctly convey what's going on or correctly evaluate a situation. And they bring their own spin and they say, well, it's almost that. And it's like, dude, you can't do that. That's not how facts work, and that's not how lies and truths work. Nintendo said that they had no plans to use game keycards for Nintendo developed titles. And guess what? Pokemon Pokapia is not a Nintendo developed title. And people say, well, it's a Nintendo published title. Okay, don't count. Nintendo did not say no plans to use game keycards for Nintendo published titles. If they said that, then we'd have a different conversation. And while I don't like the game keycard as much as you, and while I think it is sort of sneaky, and I use that exact word many times in my video discussing this at length, they are using the Pokemon name, they are using a Nintendo published title, but they are not lying. And so Nintendo, while they can be taken to task for game keycards and for sneaking this in and for not giving us the full game on the physical cartridge and for cheaping out when the game is definitely not going to be the same size as Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which clearly fit on a cartridge at 42 gigabytes, Pokemon Pokapia, first of all, doesn't deserve the slander. This game could be great. Second of all, Nintendo did not lie. It's hilarious to me that IGN is like, fans today have pointed to as a broken promise. And then YouTubers been saying Nintendo lied. Now, to IGN's credit, they say, but of course, Pokemon is not a solely Nintendo-owned franchise, and Nintendo does not develop Pokemon games. This is also a game developed by Koei Tecmo, which last time we checked was not a Nintendo development studio. Therefore, this is not a lie. You don't have to like what they're doing, but you can't say they're lying, because they're not. And I feel like, I don't know, growing up in school, in debates, it was pretty cut and dry what truth versus lie meant, and now it's not. And so I just wanted to be very direct here and tell you, if you've seen this headline on IGN, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on wherever you watch anything, they didn't. They made what I'd qualify as a poor decision. They probably got influenced by the Pokemon Company wanting to maximize dollars like they always love to do, but they didn't lie. And so I think the game keycard conversation probably needs to rest for a bit, because this is just overboard. Like, until Nintendo developed titles are on game keycards, which according to them they will not be, you don't have to worry. Maybe Pokemon games will be on game keycards because they're a little slimy, shady, and they definitely want to suck up all the coins. But Nintendo games, that means the titles that you know are developed by Nintendo, will not be on game keycards. And so, like, let's just see what happens. Got only a couple more releases this year. We'll go into 2026 with fresh eyes, and we'll see how Nintendo handles this. Like I said, still don't like Pokemon Pokapia on a game keycard. Still understand the difference between a truth and a lie. Anyhow, see y'all later today on my live stream. Hope you guys are ready to enjoy that. Hope you guys enjoyed the Mario Galaxy trailer. Let me know what you think about this Nintendo truth that they told. Not an interesting headline, though, to write Nintendo fans blame Nintendo for telling the truth. That doesn't really get you any clicks, so alas, I get it, but come on, guys. Nintendo, they're frustrating. Nintendo, they're flawed. Nintendo, they didn't lie. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love y'all lots. Until next time, SwitchForce out.